Today I'd like to talk about a new piece of gear I just received. It's a kettle system, which means that it is a pot and a stove and a pot stand and a windscreen all together in one piece. And it's called the Backcountry Boiler. There was a fellow by the name of Devin Montgomery who he designed a new kettle type stove and produced some proof of concept kind of things in his garage with some tools that he had himself. And then once he got a design he really liked, he took it to some metalwork shops and had one professionally made. And announced it to the backpacking community that he was going to be making these things, and said if I could get 100 of them, 100 orders, then that's enough to get these guys cranking away on this. And so I submitted one of those first 100 orders, and just today received my kettle, which he calls the Backcountry Boiler. The boiler comes in this nice stuff sack that Devin made himself. He even got himself a logo and so forth. Let me show you the actual package. Comes with some instructions. He threw in some coffee and tea, not knowing, of course, that I don't drink coffee or tea, so I'll have to find somebody to give that to. Here's the actual unit with a little silicone stopper one can use. Notice it's entirely hollow, and the inside is conical in shape, so it gets very thin towards the bottom and fairly thick towards the top. This center hole is the chimney. It's where the smoke and flames will come out, and here's where you fill it up with water and pour the hot water out of. This outside is a neoprene sleeve, so that when the thing is full of boiling water, you can still grab onto it. In addition, there is a little fire cup, I suppose you might say, that the boiler sets in. So the idea is you build a little fire out of twigs right there, put it on like this, air can come in through the hole in the bottom, and the smoke escapes to the chimney, and you sit back and you can feed extra wood in and keep the boiler going. Now, what I'm going to do today is run a few tests. Alrighty, well here I have the boiler going just on my front patio, in my driveway, and got some sticks burning in there, and about 2 cups of water in the boiler. It will hold a little more than that, but I think once it gets to a rolling boil that probably wouldn't work. You'd have boiling over, but 2 cups is about the right size for backpacking purposes anyway, because the most recipes for instant or rehydrated backpacking food call for at most 2 cups of water. So that's the interesting thing anyway. I don't know if you can see a little bit of flame and smoke coming out the top, but it clearly is working. Now I'm going to continue to feed wood in and get this water boiling. And these are just sticks that I collected from my backyard, nothing special. Okay, I must say I'm pretty impressed. We've only been boiling, or been burning for a little while, but there's already beginning to be bubbles forming in the water. If I can do this without smoking up the lens, nice little fire going on in there with just really a handful of twigs. The airflow seems to be just right. So I think it's a well-designed little unit. Now, Devin also provides a little plug made of silicone you can put in here. You of course wouldn't use that when cooking, because if it starts to boil, of course the plug will shoot off. In fact, out of worry for that, he put a little safety valve here that would blow off and relieve pressure if you were to carelessly do that. The purpose of the plug is in case you want to use this to carry water, which I don't think I ever would. I have no need to be carrying around 2 cups of water on a little thing. Alrighty, it's a few minutes later. and I've noticed a couple of things. One is that it's hard to do this with a camera in your hand because of the small size of the boiler and the little tiny twigs you're putting in. You have to feed it fairly regularly to keep it going. The other thing that is not 100% positive is this little hole here, because it's also on the top, is exposed to, or has the potential to get little bits of ash in there from the fire. And I can't see myself being worried about that kind of thing. We used to call that Boy Scout pepper. But nevertheless, the larger, heavier commercial versions have a spout coming off the side, so that the source of the ash and smoke is far enough away that you don't have that problem. For myself, of course, the weight trade-off is makes it more than worth it to get perhaps a few flecks of backcountry flavor in my chili beans. Okay, and then here, if you can see that well, we are actually getting a nice rolling boil coming off this, and since I filled it up so full, you can see it actually is boiling over slightly. So, easy to operate, works well. With a full 2 cups of water, you have to watch your fingers, is what I'd say. If I grab on the side away from this, the neoprene sleeve does a great job insulating my hand. I can't feel that heat at all, even though the water inside is a rolling boil. And there's the remainder of my fire. Okay, I've now emptied the boiling water out, and I wanted to show you the buildup of creosote happens on the inside. Now, if there's sufficient light, you should be able to see it's not just dark because of shadow. That is just the results of any wood fire will produce a layer of creosote like that. But of course, the beautiful thing is it's on the inside, so that once you put it back in the stuff sack and so forth, that surface won't be touching anything. So none of your gear will get this black coating, and neither will your hands. Well, in some rate, I have to say I'm very pleased with the Backcountry Boiler as a wood stove. It's clean, lightweight, and just cool. I think it appeals to me as something to use, especially for long distance hikes, where fuel might run out. In terms of, if you take alcohol, how do you know if you have enough? What if you spill the boiling water one day and have to boil twice for a meal, and then when the alcohol runs out, what do you do? The advantage of a wood stove like this is that you're not going to run out of fuel, so it's ideal for those kind of situations.